Hello, YouTube! I am Pinstar, and this is Transport Fever 2, Pinstar Plays, Episode 4. So one of my commenters had remarked that they really wanted me to intersperse some super-duper close-up shots. Because one of the hallmarks of this game series is its eye to authenticity. Now, I will be the first to admit I am not a train geek, but I can respect the passion of those who are and their eye for authenticity. So here we are. We have Big Cameron. I've renamed our train for Cameron's Lumber Long Haul here, getting our second big batch of timbers and carrying it to its destination. Now it is slowly coming up to speed. Its max speed is 40 kilometers per hour, and it's struggling a little bit. It's struggling just a bit. It's gone this far from the station, and it still hasn't quite topped off at max speed. Despite this being a completely flat, completely non-curved, curved to the point where the curves don't slow the train down. So yeah, we might need something with a little bit more horsepower. Just saying. Just saying. Now, if I remember correctly, though, I think something with a little bit more horsepower came onto the line here. Yes, the 440 The General. This one has it's got a 45 mile per hour or kilometers per hour top speed, but also it's got more horsepower. It can haul and pull the bigger stuff to it. So I think what we're going to do here, especially with the big payoff that we're going to get from the big Cameron coming in and dropping its load here, I think we're going to send it in and swap out the engines here. It's not that the other train is unable to do what it needs to do, but yeah, we'll get it upgraded here. The other thing is maybe we can try to repurpose that other engine for a different purpose, because I do have a different purpose in mind. We don't necessarily have to completely abandon the old version, although it will certainly help us out. Alright, 617k again. Let's wait for it to unload its cargo. And then, nope, you're not quite going around. I want you going to the depot. S'il vous plaît. Heading for the... Okay, yeah, oops. Because these are all behind the same signal here, it's treating these as all one thing. So, give me just a moment to make a signal block here, so that they're willing to enter this little space, because our other train up here isn't going to get in the way. Not right away here. That's the nice thing with all these different signal blocks. You know, we can have multiple trains running along these lines, and it's not going to really cause any problems. And then once you're in there, we can do a little bit of a swap here. Okay, so let's take a look here. Big Cameron. And I think what we're going to do is... Is there another way to, like, move... We can remove that and then add the big General. And you know what? I think we could add a few more cars with that. Let's go up to a strict 70 car capacity, because that gives us 45 kilometers in 91 seconds, which isn't too bad. I mean, it's not 0 to 60, that's for darn sure, but we'll take what we can get. And we can modify that without having to take out more loans. So, well, bam. That should do nicely. Now, I think we went ahead and sold that old one. Oh yeah, get back on the long haul, please. Now the question is, who's going to get out the gate first? It's a race. Aha! Cameron won. That's okay. Because he's just going to pull right through anyway, so it's neither here nor there. We do still have some fuel left over on here, and we're delivering more stuff, so I think we need a few more delivery trucks on our two fuel lines here. And actually, Fujeziville local fuel delivery and tool delivery, s'il vous plaît. And I think tool delivery needs even more now that we're upping our tool game here. Yeah, because now that he's passed this thing, this train can pull into the station. Our fuel train here. Carrying heaping helpings of fuel, and now, yeah, we've got a fresh batch of fuel here for Fujeziville. I'm seeing some passengers built up here. That's not good, because if you leave too many passengers on here for too long, your station rating is going to start to suffer. That's going to hinder growth. We don't want that. So what do we? What's built up here? All right, we need 2 more for local 2 and 3 here. Oh, maybe 1 more for 2, 2 more for 3. But we can make that happen. We've got things. We don't need to take out so local number 2, and then 2 more for number 3. And that should help us keep up with our growing population. I mean, after all, as Fujeziville grows, it's gonna start popping out more and more people, and they're gonna expect it. They're going to still expect to be transported on time. Oh yeah. So Jetstream pointed out in the comments that I kind of went all the way down to this sawmill, thinking that sawmills were a bit more rare. But then there's this sawmill like right next door to the tools with 2 lumber farms next to it. So maybe we didn't have to go this far, but that being said, I don't regret it. Why? Because you get paid by distance, and this is a lot of distance, so that's a lot of pay. So we're probably milking a bit more money out of our factories here. I mean, they're not our factories, but they're still paying us to ship it. Than we'd be getting here. I'm guessing that we're probably making a lot less on this whole fuel gambit here. Not that I regret doing it. I definitely want to be doing it. How are you doing? Yeah, 42 and 42. You're getting nice full loads of fuel. You're getting some pretty darn good full loads of fuel. And yeah, we're just going from there. So no complaints. How's Shonaville? Yeah, Shonaville's still kind of sleepy. But I have some plans for Shonaville. After all, the whole reason why I went with these 2 as sister cities is because they both demand the same goods. So once we max out Fujeziville's demands, like we're producing more than we can ship, then we're going to start hooking up Shonafield and start getting goods, fuel, and tools over there, so Shonafield can start feasting on the fruits of our labor here, and we can get paid for the whole thing. Now, in order to do that, I think this is a little improvement right here. This Big Cameron, we're already up to 35 kilometers an hour, slowly growing here. It's still going to take us a while to get there, but we are hauling 70. So not only are we hauling it faster with a higher top speed, but we are we're getting there with 2 more carts worth of stuff. So all in all, that's going to be that's going to be more things. But still, this is a very irregular deployment, and not to mention we're we're holding on to a lot of timber here, a lot of planks. We could get probably 2 more trains going in there and keep everything busy. So I think that's what we need to do. It is time that we doubled some stuff up. So let's get our track built in here. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for you, because I'm going to wait for this. I'm going to wait for Big Cameron to reach his destination and drop off his cargo before I double up the line here. Or better yet, maybe not. Let's not wait. Let's start drawing now, because we're going to want to spawn a new train as well to make use of this whole thing. Alright, so we're going to go here, we're going to grab some tracks, we're going to splinter this track off. Or maybe not. Yeah, that's more like it. We can do signals later. So the track that is currently being traveled on is going to be the right-hand track, which is going to just be going in this direction. Meaning this track that we are building is going to be dedicated as a return track. And thankfully the game has this nice little snap to feature where these things just run very smoothly in right next to each other. Oops. I mean, it does usually handle the road crossings pretty well, too. Oops, nope, don't want to start a whole new track, thank you. So far, so good. I mean, it's a bit of an investment, but while doubling the number of tracks allows us to add more than double the number of trains. Because with one track, it's really hard to get more than one train going back and forth efficiently. But with 2 tracks, you can, depending on the length of the whole route, you can have many trains. Many trains. Like on a track this length, we could probably have 5 or 6 trains if we really wanted that many. I don't think we want that many, but if we wanted that many, we can have 5 or 6 trains looping back and forth, and as long as we have a dense enough signal placement, they won't get in each other's way, and that's detached. So, yeah. Sometimes doubling up your tracks is what you need to increase your production, or at least your throughput anyway. Now we don't actually need to have double tracks in the station. It's fine for them to share. Whoop. Yes, no, maybe so? No, okay. Built it too close. Perfect. Okay. Now, let's get some signals placed. So here, you don't need to double signals. We actually... I missed. Hang on, folks. Freaking tree made me miss. That's more like it. We good? We good? I think we're good. All right. As I was saying, so we just need signals in one direction here. Because we want to strictly enforce the this goes this way and this goes this way bit here. And then just to allow trains to be near each other, we can just place them interspersed. Now, basically, the more trains we have, like the denser the trains, the more of these signal pairings we're going to need. Again, we're already probably going a little bit overboard here, but I like just to have them in place. And then one more bit right here to enforce that. And then we got this double right here along the station here. Which is once they've merged into one set of tracks to sort of block off this area. So these two are fine as is. But now we can clone our train here. Once we take out some loans, let's just do our whole borrow to 10, spend our stuff, and then repay the excess. So in the Cameron Lumber Long Haul, Big Cameron, I'm going to clone you, and that's going to get 2.5 million. So that's going to give us another of that plus the other 10, and assign him to the route. Excellent. Let's repay that beast. So he's going to slowly make his way out, but because this train is here on this track. Whoops. Now what? Okay, my friend, go back to your station, please. Whoops. Whoops. Whoopsie doodle. Alright, now you go on the Cameron Lumber Long Haul. Now just, get up there and get out of there before... Because we want to have a little bit of space between these two. We have another whoops situation here, don't we? Yep. Yeah, I know. I just have the world's worst timing here. I should have waited. I said right before, I'm going to wait for Big Cameron to make his drop off before I do all this shenanigans. But I got impatient. I wanted the money. I wanted the big bucks. In which case, we probably actually want to get rid of these two. 829,000 with those extra 2 carts. Love it. Love it. Okay, now you can go on the long haul, my friend. Because our other train isn't due back for a little bit. The Fujezziville Tool and Die is still doing its thing. Not quite to the point where it's ready to upgrade, but I have a feeling once we have 2 trains worth of stuff churning through, that it'll be ready to upgrade. At least our funds are doing well. I mean, we're making cash, and we can slowly start chipping back away at that loan, at least until we take it back out again for our next investment. But I want to see how this plays out first before we go spending more money. Because we might want to be upgrading our capacity and doubling up for our fuel line so that we can get our fuel throughput equal to that. And we also might need more trains. But hang on, let's I just want the signal. I don't want to ice the pieces themselves. That should prevent the situation we saw earlier. And actually, these two stray signals. That thing and that thing. That should prevent our problems of heading up like they were before. So each of these can carry 70, and we've got more than 140 waiting for us here. Yeah, we could probably stand to have another train. Now, since I know that a whole new one of these beasts costs us 2.5 mil, we're going to need to be able to get enough money and loan bandwidth so that we can get another one. But I think a third is warranted. That also might warrant another ship here to keep the wood flowing fast enough. Because these things are, I mean, they're doing pretty darn well. They're coming back with their fills. No complaints. And I am liking these faster speeds, so that they just move all the more aggressively here. And bear in mind, these are the 1850s era trains. Now, granted, this train came about. The General came about, I think, 1860 or so, because we're in 1864 now. So 14 years have passed since we've founded our glorious empire here. But yeah, see, now you're taking the low road here. You're coming back on here, so they can pass each other just fine and keep flowing uninterrupted. Because what you want to avoid is having a train stopped at a signal, waiting for another train to pass. That's the ideal is they just always go forward. I have a feeling we're going to need to wait until one or both of these guys cash in their loads before we can afford a third train. But I think that's a worthwhile plan here. I might also need to invest in some more of these, because dang, you guys are still not. Yeah, I think 3 more for each of these. 1, 2, 3. Whoop. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Tool delivery. 1, 2, 3. Fuel delivery. Go at it. Go forth, my army of equines. Deliver. Fujezziville's citizens demand consumption. But look at these numbers, 70% and 50% respectively. And growth begets more growth, because as they grow larger, the number of internal destinations and by car destinations also increase. So these will slowly go to 20 to 30, etc. And that's not counting the extra things that we eventually hook up when we hook up other cities. Especially once Schonefield starts growing, that's going to increase these numbers even more. Now, one thing I'm still a little shaky on is the whole private transport. I did some off-screen experimentation where I transformed these roads, these country roads, from country to city, thinking that if they were all city roads there, that would consider itself a private transportation link. But it's not. It's nowhere near. So I think we need to wait for technology to improve itself before we can start getting private transport numbers linked up even better. Of course, that's also when traffic problems kind of crop up, so we need to be careful of that. All right, yeah, see, these guys are arriving just in time. We are just about out of tools for it to process here, but never fear. Big Cameron is here. Oh, speaking of name and game, I also did some other renaming. We got the Josh crude and refinement. So Josh has taken his namesake into our new oil and fuel production lines here. And as we expand into new industries, we will bring in more name and game patrons. Okay, our second train has pulled in and offloaded its cargo. With our loan bandwidth, we should have the requisite 2.5 million. I am actually going to wait for our little friend here to deposit his cargo, our fuel train. Josh's fuel train here, before we go ahead and buy ourselves another one for the lumber line, and then we'll look to upgrading the fuel line, and that will get an even more steady supply for Fujezziville. Alright, I think we're in good shape, so let's go here. Long haul, Big Cameron, let's clone. Boom, 2.5 million. And yet another train for beautiful. All right. So, with 3 of these going through, again, I do think we're going to need another ship here to keep up with the production, because now we might not have enough planks waiting for our friends here. So, I do think we're going to need a little clone action here, because we got 153. With 2 trains, that's going to fill up 2 trains. We're going to get some more coming up here, but still, we still need to be wary of that. I think we're going to run into some shortfalls without that extra boat. But we are at 10, so we cannot actually borrow anymore until we get some bigger payoffs. But that's okay. We've got 3 trains now loading up for goodness here. Uh, 43, and then we should actually be good for our 3rd train here by the time this ship arrives. But we are clearly making a dent into our supply here. So we are going to need another ship just to make this sustainable. But hey, nice symmetry. 3 giant trains, 3 giant ships, and a metric F ton of trucks. That will get. I think the truck spam will cut down once we actually get motorized, because they can start carrying larger and larger loads. Yeah, see, 70. As long as we're over 70, we can have a full boat here. And I think we'll be able to, speaking of a full boat, I think we'll be able to buy them once. Yeah, see, that's the thing. We just picked up one with our 3rd train, and our 1st train is just about to pull in here and unload a metric F ton of stuff, and that's actually enough for a boat right there. So, let's go here. The Boyd Lumber Barge, ship number 1. If I remember correctly, these things, for some silly reason, want to go somewhere other than... Alright, so good. No, you are going west, east, and south first. That is the correct answer, my friend. And I'm pretty sure our wood, the woods can keep up. We're only actually tapping into about 52% of the woods' production. So a 3rd boat can certainly, we could probably get away with 4 boats with only a little bit of wasted bandwidth, if I wanted to be honest here. But 3 is certainly viable. Yeah, because you're already in the 90s. These things hold 70, so we're good. Right, yeah, you just slow down for our fuel delivery. Yeah, see, now we're working on here, and I think we're doing pretty darn well. In fact, what I think we might want to do is, and I've noticed this, is goods have a way of kind of decaying if there's not enough room for them. We saw that last episode. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually expand this a bit more, or not. But actually, 1 extra length for each of those, probably a good idea. It'll be able to hold and handle all the more cargo there. And I could always strip the road down, expand it further, and go from there. But I think expanding it by 1 each is good enough for the moment. Speaking of expanding, I do think actually we probably want to expand a number of vehicles. 1, 2, 3, 4 tool delivery. 1, 2, 3, 4 fuel delivery. Keep those lines a moving. We're getting pretty close to maximizing Fujezziville's demand, at least for the moment. As Fujezziville grows, their demand will also grow. So it's an ever increasing thirst, as you will. But we're doing pretty well. And let's start paying back our loan just a bit here, as we can. Yeah, we got another stream of stuff going in here, and actually having the extra thing should allow a greater throughput here. We also might see look at this. We should see the you can tell there's decay going on here because the production and the shipping is different. Production and shipping should be the same, so if they're not, that means there's decay going on. And that's actually the only thing holding back our thing here. But now that we've increased our throughput of delivery trucks and also expanded our capacity here, I think we're in good shape. So once the average sort of catches up, it'll start recognizing that those are starting to get shipped. Yeah, it's all on tool delivery. In fact, we might have too many on fuel delivery. So why don't you go to tool delivery instead? Just get them transferred over here. Yeah, because this thing really, I mean, it's kind of drowning on raw materials from all of our trains coming in here. It's kind of drowning. The other thing is that it might be manufacturing more tools than it knows what to do with. Because Fujesiville only has so many. I mean, if you look at this, it's actually churning through more stuff than it can output. So we actually need to get more sources of demand if Fujesiville Tool and Die is to give us is to grow to the next level. So I think Schonefield in our next episode is going to do that for us. So if you guys like this episode and you want to see more like it, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment. Good, bad, or indifferent, your feedback is always welcome. So until next time, this has been Pinstar signing out. See ya! Oh, and actually it's growing now. Perfect.